reminisce, I reminisce.
Here we go. So it's that Evangelion. Like, is that anime? So, because it's that.
Classified by authority of the SCP Foundation Overseer Council. This document and all associated documents are the property of the SCP Foundation and are subject to the classification requirements and restrictions therein. This document may or may not contain lethal mimetic defense measures. Attempting to access or disseminate this document without proper and sufficient authorization is punishable by death. Item number: SCP-6224. Level 2 restricted. Containment class safe. Disruption class flam. Risk class notice.
Oh, that's good. It's
Assigned
safe.
Site 26. Site Director A. Keeger. Research Head T. Spanu. Assigned Task Force not applicable. Special Containment Procedures. Personnel who have watched or read officially licensed Neon Genesis Evangelion branded media are barred from employment at Foundation Site 26. This information is to be garnered through pre-employment interview screenings and the effects of SCP-6224 itself.
I guess I can't work
complex absolute taste field has been proliferated throughout Site 26 for the purposes of discouraging viewing of Neon Genesis Evangelion and adjacent media. Personnel found to have consumed violating media are to be transferred to a secondary site chosen by Site 26's re-employment coordinator. Update. Following Incident 6224-01, Site 26 has been reclassified as a low-threat containment zone. Research efforts to combat SCP-6224 have been prioritized. Description: SCP-6224 is a phenomenon localized to Foundation Site 26, wherein any and all inanimate objects placed within a 25-meter radius of the facility will instantaneously alter their physical appearance and properties to become Neon Genesis Evangelion branded. Footnote 1. Neon Genesis Evangelion is a 1995 Japanese science fiction animated television series revolving around artificial humanoid robots and their pilots. Objects affected by SCP-6224 are designated SCP-6224-A. This process has occurred since May 13, 2006. SCP-6224's changes are superficial and do not alter the object's original purpose. SCP-6224-A largely retain the functionality of their original form, and no instances of an object's conversion have resulted in a non-working object. While most SCP-6224-A instances are not based on existing Evangelion-branded products, some bear a strong resemblance to ordinary merchandise available for purchase. Examples include pencils, food products, dehumidifiers, and power washing equipment. Footnote 2. A complete digital and physical archive of Evangelion merchandise is being constructed for cross-referencing purposes. Complications due to the scale of this project have moved its expected completion date to 2031. SCP-6224 has demonstrated a capacity to alter paratechnical objects or other Foundation-made equipment, such as containment cells, weaponry, and uniforms. SCP-6224 has not altered any anomalous object.
I don't know, that would be kind of awesome though. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen New Genesis Evangelion. Why am I saying the whole thing? Just say Evangelion. Like, you know what I'm talking about. But that'd be kind of awesome. Now, if it's more like you anything that crosses over into this like perimeter, like all your clothes change, maybe you change in some fashion to fit into the anime. The dangerous part would be if it changes your brain to think like you're actually in this anime now, rather than being almost like a theme park, I guess you could say. But if it's changing your brain and that you think like this is real, like, I mean, I guess technically it is real in that sphere or wherever they're at. So I can tell you this, technically it is real, but if it's altering your mind, I can see that being dangerous. But if it was like, hey, you can cross over it's like this basic theme park where you cross over into it What was that? Oh, okay. I thought because I saw like something was. It was like something was on the little loading thing was spinning next to the cursor. I thought, was that? Something stopped working. But if it was like, hey, this place, if you go in here, you become like a superhero. Like you go to, I don't know, DC World or Marvel World or something, and you become a character in that world. It could be random. Like you go, if you go in there, you could be like, say you go in DC World one moment, you go in there, you're Superman. If you walk back out and then go back in, next moment you're Batman. You know, but you kind of it might change your body. Like you may be have the same body type, same outfit as Batman, but like I said, it doesn't really alter your mind in a way. So you're not, you know, super intelligent or have his martial arts skills, but you might change your body so you fit. You go, oh, well, I can kick like him. You know, like that. That would probably be kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, altering your brain. That's the scary part, was changing your brain.
Or entities in containment, nor any living things within its proximity. Due to the largely unobtrusive nature of SCP-6224 to the functionality of Site-26 as an extension of the Foundation, the decision was made to continue operations as normal. Personnel who have viewed Neon Genesis Evangelion-related media. Footnote 3. The axiom this property is based upon is poorly understood, and what constitutes viewing has proven inconsistent in testing. And retained an emotional connection to the franchise are susceptible to a dazed state upon viewing an SCP-6224-A instance, which can last from 1 minute to 6 hours. Personnel in this state often fixate upon the object while relating a verbose, extended tirade regarding the show's importance to them or the world at large. Attempts to interrupt this process are typically met with success, though doing so often results in minor hostility and annoyance directed towards unaffected persons. This state is induced in less than 0.2% of encounters between subjects and an SCP-6224-A instance, but the high volume of instances inside Site-26 has led to an intrusive and distracting presence in the work environment. Addendum 6224.1 Instance Log. Examples of notable SCP-6224-A instances are listed below. SCP-6224-A Log. Object altered. 2006 Porsche Cayenne, personal automobile of Site Director Keeger. Description: SCP-6224-A129 has been altered to include a decal of Evangelion character Misato Katsuragi wearing a swimsuit in a suggestive pose across the left side of the vehicle. The hood has been decorated with the show's logo. A decal on the right side of the car reads, "I love Major" in a white font, decorated with numerous red hexagons. Object altered. 4 Hartnell water coolers, located in each of Site-26's break rooms. Description: the plastic jug of SCP-6224-A781 through A784 bears a nerve insignia. Liquids placed in the coolers take on an orange coloration through the use of several filters and coloring dyes pumped into the object. This does not affect taste. When water is released through the use of the handle mechanism, a speaker attached to the bottom of the object will play the series' opening theme song, A Cruel Angel's Thesis, at a volume of 95 decibels. Cessation of playback until the song has completed is presently impossible. Object altered. Site-26's Director's Boardroom. Description: the entirety of the boardroom has been altered to reflect the meeting room of the villainous organization Zila as it is depicted in the show. In place of chairs, several large monoliths have appeared, which users may speak into through use of a speaker and vocal encoding mechanism. Attempts to replace these monoliths have resulted in their reappearance. Object altered. Physical photographs. Description: any and all physical photographs exposed to SCP-6224 will be altered to depict Evangelion's characters in place of ordinary people. Characters are depicted performing the same actions and taking the same positions as those originally in the photo. This effect is not applied to digital photographs, leading to the use of digital identification badges site-wide. object altered,
I wonder
physical
because
media,
when the show
such
came
as
out, it wasn't
DVDs,
digital
books, and
photos.
video games. Description: physical media is altered to become Evangelion related. This effect applies to the contents of such media as well. Live-action films become animated and feature heavy alterations in script to include a narrative involving Evangelion's characters while still retaining the tone of the original media. For example, a copy of How the Grinch Stole Christmas 2000, when played, depicted Evangelion's Asuka Langley Soryu in place of the Grinch, with Shinji Ikari taking the role of the Grinch's dog, Max. Similar alterations were found in a copy of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which now featured the cast of Evangelion as playable characters. This effect does not apply to digitally streamed media. As a result, all physical media has been barred from Site 26.
Okay, it's because like you said, it came out in 95.
Final recordings of music. Description: similarly to other media, vinyl recordings are altered to reflect Evangelion's narrative and characters. This is most obvious in the alteration of vocals, but also in lyrical content, which reflects the series. An example includes American industrial rock collective 9 Inch Nails' Downward Spiral album, which is now vocally delivered by English Evangelion voice actor Tiffany Grant, and features songs titled Big Man with an Ava and Laying Unconscious on a Hospital Bed. This property does not apply to digitally streamed music. Addendum 6224.2. Additional information. An example of SCP-6224's mind-altering properties can be found below. Agent Eli Stain, who was familiar with Evangelion, used Elevator 127C on June 1st, 2006. The elevator had been altered to include 2 statues of characters Asuka Langley Soryu and Rei Ayanami. What followed is behavior typical of those affected by SCP-6224. Stain enters the elevator and gasps. He immediately moves towards the statue of Asuka and traces its outline with his hand. The agent begins to cry.
Oh my god, it's Asuka from Evangelion. Asuka Langley Soryu. I'm so... I don't know.
Soryu.
She's right here. Asuka. My fucking god. In real. In the elevator. Wow. Asuka Evangelion.
How?
Well, you seem a bit upset, but let's not pay that any mind. I'm just happy you're here, and I'm happy you're doing alright. It's rough out there, but I'm proud of you. We all are, just for moving forward a little bit each day.
The elevator opens and researcher Crone enters.
Oh god. I'm less ashamed of who I am because of you, Asuka. I really mean that. Evangelion. Eli, come on.
Stain takes notice of Crone, seemingly for the first time since he's entered the elevator.
What do you want? You're doing the thing again? Can't you ever let me enjoy something? I finally looked into this fucking show. Why do all the kids wear skin-tight suits? Kinda weird. The sexualization is the fucking point, you absolute moron. Maybe if you use more than 2 brain cells when analyzing media, you can come to the conclusion that it's an intentional critique of Japanese otaku culture's sexual hang-ups and is meant as a trap to lure viewers in under the guise that the show is an ordinary anime. Did you ever think of that, you shit clown?
Well, oh wow, this...
Boy, man, relax. I'm messing...
Okay, did he get this off of like Twitter or I guess any YouTube section? Comment section of to critiquing any type of anime, because oh my god, you just want to be like, sure, they did that to lure people in, but they making a statement about how they over sexualizing children in animation by doing that. Interesting. they do it, but they like, but we're better because we're pointing it out. It was like, that's like someone who's like, you know what, it's like someone who's being an asshole, but they admit to like, you know what, I know I'm an asshole. I was like, okay, that don't make it any better. You're still an asshole. Just like because you're aware of it doesn't make it better. Like, it's like this is just like, oh my, this is like so many comments I've seen on X. I fucking hate calling that. That was the dumbest fucking thing, calling it X. I'm like, you literally had the branding already Twitter, but no, I gotta change it.
With you.
Stupid.
Should I leave you two alone?
Shut the hell up. This show's had more impact on the world than your collective family lineage, and you're just jealous of Anno's genius. You fuck. If you don't understand Evangelion, then I truly pity you. Section cut for brevity. Over the next 2 weeks, Stain engaged in several similar outbursts, often while performing Foundation duties. This led to an on-site detainment. A portion of his interview has been transcribed below. Several minutes of prior interrogation cut for brevity. Throughout the interview, Stain frequently glances to his side. Look, it's not affecting my job performance. I perform my job very well.
Yeah,
and the few times I've gotten distracted, like they weren't my fault, okay? I can't help not being affected by an anomaly I'm susceptible to.
You've had the most hostile reactions out of everyone here. Over a children's cartoon, might I add.
Ooh, you don't call it a children's cartoon.
Agent sips coffee from a mug shaped like Evangelion Unit 1's head. Well, it's not a kid's show, but there's like 20 of us here affected by 6224. You're really gonna transfer everyone?
We don't have a choice.
He just said you the most violent.
Talk about the show. It's no different than an ordinary conversation, and we snap right out of it. It does not affect me, and it doesn't affect my job here. I'm perfectly fine.
We're not sure how else SCP-6224 affects the mind, and quite frankly, we don't have the resources available to dedicate studying an anomaly this mundane. Transfer is our easiest option.
Stain is visibly sweating and frantically glances to the right-hand corner of the room.
Agent Stain?
Stain mouths the words, "I'm sorry."
Eli?
Asuka says that if you transfer me, she'll stop being my friend.
Oh, God.
The day of the impact draws near.
Oh, boy.
Following this interview, current containment procedures forbidding personnel who had viewed Evangelion from Site-26 employment were put into place. Several other personnel affected by SCP-6224 admitted to viewing hallucinations of Evangelion's cast, but did not view this as concerning or information relevant to the Foundation. All mentioned a forthcoming Day of Impact, an event of unknown composition and...
I was having hallucinations of Evangelion's cast, but I didn't think I should tell my employers about it. You know, I didn't think it was important. It's like really? You didn't think that was important? You having fucking hallucinations? Especially like this guy would just, it's not affecting my work. Yeah, but no one wants to work around you. And plus he said, you're the only one who's had such an angry reaction towards other people because of this. And he's like, yeah, but it's not affecting my work though. Yeah, but that's not the point.
Indeterminate time frame. Agent Stain and 18 other affected personnel were transferred off-site. They have exhibited no further signs of SCP-6224 related behavior. The Foundation Benefits Office has relocated and provided a plush toy of Rei Ayanami as a support object to all SCP-6224 affected personnel. Addendum 6224.3 Incident 6224-01. On September 1st, 2007, the appearance of all SCP-6224-A instances were altered to reflect the art style of the Evangelion New Theatrical Edition film, which was released on the same day. Since this incident, all SCP-6224-A instances will reflect the characters as they appear in the rebuild of Evangelion films as opposed to the original television series. Furthermore, a change in SCP-6224's mind-altering effects was noted. Instead of affecting individuals who were
that's one thing. See, the fans of the original be like, anything new that comes out, it's automatically already worse, even before I even see it. Now, if it does come out and it does end up being worse because of the story's bad or whatever, or maybe they think it's gone woke or something. They have a non-binary character in here now, or they change the character to they change their sexuality or whatever. It's like they the original fans would be like, no. See, this anomaly is just going like, okay, well now I'm just switching over to the new thing that came out. Now everything will resemble that. See, that's why you can't watch the show. That's why they can't hire people who have seen the show, because then they would get angry and probably become violent. that everything is resembling the new like movie rather than the old show. It's like, no, it's better. The old show is better. Like Rogue had a big ass in the original show. Except she didn't. She only had a big ass in that one scene that everyone keeps showing. It was like, I saw that. I've been seeing that. Like, oh my God. When I saw people, because I was like, I thought people was going to be more upset about Wolverine's voice sounding different or Cyclops' voice sounding different. But even though it's the same voice act, I think for both, I know one for Wolverine is the same voice act. But I'm like, the dude's older. His voice is different. But the Discord has been morph, being non-binary now, and Rogue ass not being big like it is. In that one scene when she was fighting Apocalypse in the original show, I was like, you could look at pretty much every other scene where her and her ass did not look like that. Like, it was not that big. She had the same, all the women pretty much had the same body type. Like, you know, because it's pretty much like runway models in the 80s and 90s where the slim bodies with like long legs. And that's pretty much how all of them look. So I don't, and then more for the non-binary. I was like, okay, you got a character who can literally change his sex. So like, I don't. And then in the original show, Morph didn't even have a love interest. So unless you want to count Wolverine, but
Familiar with the franchise prior,
I'm sorry, I was just thinking
SCP-6224 now
about
targets all individuals who view SCP-6224-A instances, regardless of their history or lack thereof with Evangelion. Affected individuals have reported desires to consume Evangelion-related media or purchase merchandise. While the hallucinatory properties of the anomaly are still believed to be present, no affected personnel have admitted to experiencing them. A decision has been made to continue Site-26's operation, now reclassified as a low-security facility. Further action is reliant on pending research efforts to combat SCP-6224 or possible evolution of SCP-6224's effects.
Yeah, you can't have any like serious work being done here at this place. Not with this happening. Like, there's no way.
Thank you everyone so much for watching, and a huge thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Special shout out to Everborn, Joe.
Like, yeah, you can't have any. I thought he said earlier that that they screen new hires that you can't have watched the show prior to working it. But then he said that people are, because we're watching the show, they're driven to want to consume they want to consume they want to watch the show. So like, they gonna end up watching the show if they worked it, and it makes them want to look at the show, or I guess the movies or whatever. That's, I don't know. But yeah, I can see no serious work can be done at that site. It's like you can't have anything really that they can cause. Everything there has to be like safe. Like, we only put safe anomalies there. No one of real importance works there, because people dealing with this shit, like, you get into arguments because people seem to be affected differently. Some people more than others. And you get like that guy who freaked out in the elevator, like, no, you don't. If you don't understand the show, then maybe you should watch it for you to speak out of turn and stuff like that. You know, just like I said, like any comment section for anything or any platform nowadays. Like, if you say so, even if it's not necessarily you disagreeing with something or agreeing with something, you could just be saying like some information, and you end up slipping up saying the wrong thing, and people go, like, you say Star Wars instead of Star Trek, and then you go in the comment section and you just see everybody just talking about that one thing. You did a 20-minute, 30-minute video about something else, and you about to made a reference to trying to make a reference to Star Trek, but you accidentally made it to, it said Star Wars, and you just see almost all the comments is about that. Like, I'm like, that those like fan bases are just so toxic, and people try to defend them. Like, oh, but my fan base is toxic. This fan base is more toxic than my fan base, and I'm like, all y'all are toxic. Some more toxic than others, based on the popularity of that character, because then you might not have as many fans of that character. I should say as many people talking about that character or characters, whatever, a group of characters, than somebody else, but still, it's just like, you look, you're just like, God, y'all are just, like, calm the fuck down. But that's crazy. It's like, it sounds like, it made me think like this is like kind of like an anime con. It was like everyone is looks, I guess, dressed up like Evangelion characters from the show. Everything, all the physical media has changed but they put Evangelion characters in the physical media. Like if you got pictures of your family, all of them get changed to characters from Evangelion, except they're doing the same poses that you and your family was doing, or you watching a movie. Like that'd be like watching like Lethal Weapon or something, and they have the main characters like switched in the roles of lethal over against everybody in that movie. It's like, because I'm thinking, because it said it only affect physical media, I'm thinking it only affects physical media because the show came out in 95. Wasn't that show only like 2 seasons or something like that? Because I remember it started coming on, I think, was it Toonami After Dark? Cause I used to come on late. It started coming on like late at night. Cause I know, because I know what's name used to come on late. Inuyasha. They used to come on late. I think they used to come on like around like 11:30. And Big O, I remember that started coming on late. It was some of the, I know, was it the Oblongs come on? It was another show, the Overalls, I can't remember the damn show. It's come on late. I think it was Space Ghost Coast to Coast that come on late. I'm starting to like, fuck what, because now I'm thinking about what came on when I used to get home from school, because I didn't start watching that stuff till I was like, well, I was in middle school, so I was like in 7th grade thing, because I think Dragon Ball Z stopped being shown on Toonami when I was in the 7th grade. But because it was like Toonami After Dark, and I know the character, but now I'm like, which show? And I think they had Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that came on during the day. That came on regular Toonami. But that was like I said, I think that was censored. Like Dragon Ball Z came on during the day, but that was, heavily censored. If you watched the way it looked, I've seen the original, like Dragon Ball Z and even Dragon Ball, and it was like way bloodier. Like they actually showed like when Piccolo shot Raditz and Goku, and you actually see like the hole in his body and blood coming out. Like in the censored version, they never show the wound. They would just like they zoom in on Goku's face, and then his body like fades away. And then you find out later that he was, because Goku, saved Earth and he was a good person and all that stuff, he was allowed to keep his body after he died. So instead of just being, I guess, like a spirit, but then he was able to train to and get stronger because he still had his physical body. But also he was able to he had more like stamina and stuff like that because he was still dead. You know, he was able to push himself more. I think they said something like that when he turned Super Saiyan 3. They said he was able to push when he fought Boo. And they said something like he was able to push himself more. Or Super Boo. Was he like Super Boo? I think he had absorbed. What was Gohan called? Was he called Ultimate Gohan? I think it was back then. And then he absorbed. Because he was a Piccolo and Gotenks. And then he beat up Gohan. Because Gohan, they came was whooping his ass. Because I think he's the Ultimate Gohan. Pretty sure that's what the name of it was. And then he absorbed Gohan. No. He fought Boo. And that was before that happened. No, I'm wrong. I can't remember. It's like that was, I haven't watched that in so long. Like I think the last time I looked at that shit, I think when I was in Afghanistan, 2011, 2010, 2011. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. And if you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe, and if you hit that bell if you want me to be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.